In a vibrant metropolis, where skyscrapers pierced the sky and the city's lights never dimmed, Daniel and Emma lived a love story that seemed to have been written by the stars. Daniel, a young engineer with tousled brown hair and green eyes reflecting an endless curiosity about the world, was known for his easy smile and his ability to turn problems into creative solutions. Emma, a nurse with curly red hair and freckles that seemed to have been sprinkled by an artist, had a contagious passion and a sensitivity that allowed her to see beauty even in the smallest details of life. They met at a dinner among mutual friends, one of those gatherings that no one plans but end up being memorable. Daniel arrived late, and upon sitting down noticed Emma on the other side of the table. Amid crossed conversations and shared laughter, they began exchanging comments on a random topic, which soon turned into a dialogue of their own. In the middle of the conversation, a friend joked, "You two seem like you've known each other for years." And in a way, it really did. The connection was immediate, as if they had always been there for one another, just waiting for the right moment to meet. Their relationship blossomed quickly. Emma was captivated by Daniel's kindness and honesty, while he admired her passion for life and her ability to see beauty in the small things. Together, they made plans for the future. To live together, travel the world, and perhaps one day start a family. However, as in any love story, challenges would arise to test the strength of their bond. That's when Julie entered the scene. Julie was Daniel's best friend, a figure who had been part of his life for so long that she was almost like a sister. They grew up together, sharing secrets, dreams, and mischief. Daniel's house, with its spacious backyard and a perfect tree for climbing, was where Julie spent much of her time. Daniel's mother, Elisa, a lady with a welcoming smile and hands always busy with some delicious recipe, treated Julie as if she were her own daughter. During adolescence, Daniel and Julie experienced a brief romance but soon realized that what they felt for each other was more fraternal than romantic. They then decided to preserve the friendship they valued so much. She became a constant presence in his life, someone he could trust unconditionally. When Daniel introduced Julie to Emma, everything seemed perfect. Julie was kind and welcoming, sharing funny stories from Daniel's childhood and making Emma feel part of his close circle. However, as time went by, Emma began to notice small details that bothered her. The way Julie seemed to know every mannerism of Daniel, the inside jokes between them, the familiarity with which Julie moved around Daniel's family house. They were small things, almost imperceptible, but they began to awaken old insecurities in Emma. She tried to rationalize, telling herself that it was natural for childhood friends to have this kind of intimacy. Daniel had always been transparent about his past with Julie and had never given any reason for distrust. Even so, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that she was competing with a ghost, an idealized version of a relationship that she could never achieve. Daniel, noticing Emma's discomfort, made efforts to reassure her. He reduced contact with Julie, always included Emma in any interaction with his friend, and constantly reaffirmed his love and commitment. Emma carried an invisible scar. Years before meeting Daniel, she had been betrayed by an ex-boyfriend who left her for a co-worker. Discovering the messages on his phone was a devastating blow, leaving her with a wound that never fully healed. Since then, trust had become something fragile for her. Although she knew Daniel was different, loyal, honest, and dedicated, the memories of betrayal still haunted her thoughts. The closeness between him and Julie, no matter how innocent it was, awakened in Emma an old fear. The fear of not being enough, of being replaced again. She tried to rationalize, but the heart, once wounded, does not always obey reason. Every inside joke, every moment of intimacy between Daniel and Julie was a painful reminder of the past. Emma struggled not to let her insecurities sabotage the relationship, but distrust was a daily battle. She knew she needed to overcome it, but the ghost of betrayal still haunted her. Things reached a critical point on a Sunday afternoon. Daniel and Emma had a minor argument about the wedding arrangements. Emma wanted something more intimate, just with close family, while Daniel insisted on inviting some longtime friends, including Julie. What should have been a simple conversation turned into a heated argument, with Emma expressing her insecurities more openly. After the argument, Emma decided to go home that night. She needed distance, time to let things cool down. The next morning, she went for a walk, hoping that the fresh air would help clear her thoughts. She wandered aimlessly, lost in her own anxieties, until she realized where she was. Unintentionally, her steps had led her to the neighborhood where the apartment she and Daniel had chosen to live in after the wedding was located. He had already started moving his things there, preparing for the new phase in their lives. When she looked up at the building, she noticed movement at the window. She then remembered Daniel's message from the night before, saying he would spend the day at the company. Her heart raced. Julie was inside. Daniel's friend moved through the apartment with familiarity, as if she belonged in that space. Emma partially hid behind a tree, unable to walk away, even when her instinct screamed for her not to look. Julie was talking to someone, and from the posture, the tone, Emma needed nothing more to understand. Daniel was there. A chill ran down her spine. The doubts, the fears, all the insecurities she had been trying to push away for months came crashing down on her with force. The air seemed to grow heavier. Her fingers instinctively went to her engagement ring. Without hesitation, she slid it off her finger and let it fall to the ground. Tears blurred her vision as she walked away, her heart slowly breaking in silence. Emma spent the following hours in a whirlwind of emotions. Anger, sadness, disappointment, all mixed in her chest. She ignored Daniel's calls and messages, unable to confront him at that moment. In her mind, 1,000 scenarios formed, all culminating in the confirmation that Daniel and Julie had more than just a simple friendship. When night fell, Daniel appeared at Emma's door. His eyes were worried and he seemed to have run there. Emma hesitated to open the door but finally gave in. As soon as she saw him, all the repressed emotions exploded. She recounted what she had seen and how it confirmed all her suspicions. Daniel listened patiently, his face a mixture of confusion and sadness. When Emma finally fell silent, he spoke calmly. "Emma, my love, you misunderstood everything. My mother went to the apartment today to bring some old furniture she wanted to give us. Julie offered to help carry the heavy things. I wasn't even there. I was at work, as I told you by message. I didn't know they were going, much less that you would pass by." Emma was silent, processing the information. Daniel's words fell on Emma like a bucket of cold water. She felt ashamed for jumping to conclusions so quickly, for doubting the man who had always been honest and loving with her. Tears returned to her eyes, this time out of regret. Daniel stepped forward, holding Emma's hands in his. His gaze was filled with concern and love, but there was also a shadow of sadness. "Emma, I love you more than anything. But a relationship without trust cannot work. I can't live having to prove my loyalty every moment. I think we need some time to reflect on what we truly want." Those words, spoken so gently, were like a shock to Emma. She realized at that moment how much her insecurities had eroded the foundation of their relationship. Daniel wasn't the problem. She was the one sabotaging her happiness. In the weeks that followed, Emma sought professional help to deal with her past traumas and insecurities. She reflected on how she had allowed previous negative experiences to taint something as beautiful and pure as her love for Daniel. She also made a conscious effort to get closer to Daniel's family, including Julie. Gradually, Emma began to see Julie not as a threat, but as an ally, someone who genuinely cared about Daniel's happiness. In a symbolic gesture of her transformation, Emma invited Julie to help with the wedding preparations. It was a healing moment for both, where they could openly talk and dispel any remaining misunderstandings. Additionally, Julie told her that she was dating a young man and that she would soon introduce him to everyone. When the big day finally arrived, the small chapel in the heart of the city was filled with love and anticipation. Emma, radiant in her white dress, walked to the altar where Daniel awaited her, his eyes shining with emotion. Before exchanging vows, Emma asked to give a brief speech. With a trembling voice she began, "Today, I am not just marrying the man I love. I am marrying with the certainty that true love is capable of overcoming any obstacle, including those we create for ourselves. Daniel, you have taught me that love is not just about passion, but about trust, understanding, and mutual growth. I promise to choose to trust you every day, even when it's hard. I promise to work on myself to be the best partner I can be. And above all, I promise to love you with my whole heart, free from fears and insecurities." Daniel, with tears in his eyes, replied, "Emma, your love makes me want to be a better person every day. I promise to be by your side in all moments, good and bad. I promise to be patient, understanding, and always open to dialogue. Together, there is no challenge we cannot overcome." As they exchanged rings and sealed their love with a kiss, everyone present could feel the energy of renewal and hope that filled the atmosphere. Julie, sitting in the front row next to Elisa, smiled with genuine happiness, knowing that she had played an important role in this story of love and overcoming. Emma and Daniel's wedding was not just a celebration of their love, but a testament to the power of trust, forgiveness, and personal growth. They emerged from that experience not only as husband and wife, but as stronger, more mature, and more united partners than ever before. As the city lights shone in the background, Emma and Daniel danced their first dance as a married couple. Their eyes met, full of promises for the future. In that moment, both knew that together they could face any challenge life threw at them. For they had found not only love, but the mutual trust that is the true foundation of a lasting relationship. If you enjoyed the story, please leave a comment with a rating from 1 to 5 to show how much you liked it. Also, watch the video that is now appearing on your screen. See you soon.